an issue. It's and you would be very familiar with it, Pradeep ji, because you've lived there too. After all, you have worked in Air India. The Air India colony demolition. Now that's created a storm, so to speak. In spite of the fact that the Supreme Court had asked for protection to continue, in spite of that, the allegation is that the new owner, namely Mr. Adani, who's the lessee here, by the way, he's not the owner. The owner of the land is still the state government. It has been leased to whosoever owns MIAL and all the other, subsidiary companies which are involved, who have come in and who have demolished a couple of buildings over there. So let's ask, at the moment we have with us today from Air India, I think, and a person very, very familiar with the entire Air India issue. We have Chow Mikhelan. Chow Mikhelan, very good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you? So,
fine, sir. Thank you very much.
So, could you give us an overview, Mr. Mikhelan, on what is going on here?
Yeah, actually, if you see recent development on past couple of days back, the Adani people and came to demolish our colony. We were surprised because already the case is on Supreme Court.
Yes.
And previously, whatever petition we filed in Bombay High Court, the Adani and Mial, they have distanced themselves that they have got nothing to do. And even in the recent affidavit filed by Government of India in Supreme Court, they have stated that the land belongs to Air India Asset Holding Limited. So we are very surprised that from where the Adani suddenly cropped up saying that claiming this land to be their own.
Gee.
And they have come with a huge police force,
Huge police force.
Yes, huge police force, and there were a lot of people. There was, I think we got some footage of that, which was,
yes.
Some footage is there with us. I think our engineering will just look into it. We saw, yes, that's it. Huge police force was out there with JCB machine, and I'm told that they did manage to break some structures, one or two structures, part structures. What did they manage to do?
Yeah, they have suddenly they came and they started breaking. So our people then rushed to that side, and we staged dharna that if you have to break it, you break it over us only. And we are very surprised that despite, police, when they give you protection, when you have got a court order to demolish, you are a government official for demolition, or something means from the government side or the law agency side. Whereas there was no paperwork with them. They had no paperwork, no magisterial order, nothing was there. But then too, there were two full bus of police force who were protecting them. We were surprised that I don't know how come the police is protecting Adani. And one of the senior police officer, he was stating that you are obstructing government work. So we asked him that what government work? Is Adani a government? We don't know. Since when Adani became government, we are very surprised. And they were saying you are obstructing government work. If Adani is a government, maybe.
No,
but wait a minute.
Yes.
Didn't the Supreme Court, because the case right now is being heard from the Supreme Court, and Mr. Mikhelan, the Supreme Court has continued the protection granted to you against use of force.
Yes.
They have said everything has to be through the due process of law.
Yes.
So how did these people have the courage or the gumption to do this? Because this is contempt of court, isn't it?
Correct. And that too with full police force they came. And initially when they came, our gate was locked. When we saw police, we are being a good citizen. We always respect a law enforcing agency. Then initially we let the police come inside. As soon as the police came inside, behind them all the Adani's machineries and all, they brought it inside. And it was like police was giving them full protection.
And then what happened?
Then we asked them, we were talking with them, with the Adani people, with the senior police officer on one corner. Suddenly then there one machinery which was stationed near the building, it started breaking. Then suddenly when we saw that it was breaking that building, part of the building, then we all rushed there and we just get out that building, and then we said no, you cannot do like that. When we are having word, finish it word, show us the document, show us what paper you are having. If it is illegal, we don't have any problem. Illegally, don't do it.
So
they didn't have any paper.
Mr. Mikhelan, did they demolish any building in which people are still staying, or did they demolish only those buildings which are vacant?
No, which was vacant.
Okay. And did they have a paper? Did they show you any paper?
No paper was there. And in that, what they have violated is that, see, as far as I am a layman, as far as I know, when you come for demolition, then the water supply should be cut off that building.
Yes.
Electricity should be cut off that building, but neither electricity was cut, neither water supply was cut. And adjacent to that building, people were staying in that one. Suppose when they are demolishing, suppose there is an electrical spark, fire comes out, there was no fire brigade also, fire tenders were also there. If fire comes, already in the main road, construction work is going on. Fire brigade will take time to reach. What about those people who are staying in the adjacent building? They didn't take any safety precaution also.
No, we want to know, number one is, you don't have a court order. They said you need to have a court order. The due process of law has to be followed. Now the police accompanies them. Police accompanies them without any court order, knowing very well that this matter is in court and then we need to have a court order. So what are the documents on which did you ask the police on what documents they based themselves that they could come and protect Adani's demolition, which is absolutely illegal, because Adani says that we have touched those buildings which was totally vacant. Nobody was staying there. How far the truth in that?
They didn't have any document. They were not able to show the document. That's why later on when we kept on arguing, then they had to leave the place, and they left the place by 8:30. Actually, as per the rule, I think demolition can be carried before 6 o'clock in the evening only. But they were very reluctant. We had to argue them to the last. That, see, when you don't have, some senior officer also came, then we made him understand that until unless you have a valid document, you cannot do it like that. Bring us the document, get the document. If you have any document, we don't have any problem. Without document, our society member also cannot allow somebody to simply come and break it.
So this police force was from the airport police station or from Wakola police station? Which police station?
Wakola police station.
Achha, Wakola police station, because this airport area, usually your colony comes under airport, that is Ville Parle, one police station is in the airport. Usually the police force is coming, that is jurisdiction there. That's again a mix up how the Wakola police station has come for demolition when the jurisdiction of this is airport police station. I mean, that's what I decipher. How do you see that?
Previously also when they came, one last time also they came, some 2-3 weeks back. That time also even we intimated the senior police officer in the Wakola police station, showing him all the documents about the Supreme Court case pendency and whatever verdict was there in the High Court, Bombay High Court, and verdict in the Supreme Court. But I don't know. Now we don't know what is there inside. Commenting that is also not good. But things is not good how it should be.
Right, at the moment, Mr. McKellen, at the moment with us, we also have Mr. Santosh Suryavanshi, also from Air India. जी, संतोष सूर्यवंशी साहब नमस्कार.
नमस्कार सर जी.
नमस्कार नमस्कार. बताएं क्या हुआ सर उस दिन, कौन सी डेट थी, क्या हुआ, कितने लोग आए, क्या हुआ, बताएं जरा.
Actually sir, there were so many bouncers and police.
Bouncers. Wow.
Yes sir.
Wow. Gee. And then what happened? Please go ahead.
Then firstly police officers and the police force came inside our gates, and
Yes.
again they were followed by bulldozers and Adani peoples and Mial peoples, and they
Please go ahead. Go ahead. बोलिए.
Our peoples, our residents asked them to produce any documents if they are having, but they don't show any documents to us, and they just go erupted, means they just want to demolish at any cost. Just they are in hurry. What hurry they have, we don't know. They want to just vacate the colonies. Despite of the colony case is going on in Supreme Court, we have fought in High Court also, but they are just reluctant to demolish and vacate the colony, evict the colony, and hand over all the land to the Adani peoples or MIA.
Right.
You know, Mr. Suryavanshi, old Air India colony, new Air India colony, Indian Airlines colony, yeah, मिला के how much area is this and how many buildings are there?
I think it is near about 184 acres of the piece of land.
184 plus, yes. 184 plus acres, yes.
184 acres,
Yes.
I think.
And how many buildings?
Near about it's near about 120 or 140 buildings, I think.
Mr.
I'm not
McKellen, do
confirmed
you have
about
any
the
idea
building
how
numbers.
many? Mr. McKellen, do you
Yeah,
have
I'm
any
not
idea?
confirmed about building numbers.
approximately I think 140, 150 buildings should be there.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
You
and
might.
so Mr. Suryavanshi, how many people are staying there right now?
Near about 400 people are staying, sir.
400.
400 families are staying
400
in
families.
the colonies.
So which means around
Yeah.
2000 people.
Yeah, near about you can say 2000 people.
You know, so, Mr. Suryavanshi, the Adani group was trying to tell the media that where they went in old Air India colony, there is no one staying there. How far is true? This 400 families is scattered over the 3 colonies, or it's a new
All
Air India
4
colony,
colonies.
or
All 4 colonies.
all 4 colonies. Acha, the one before the Air India, or the okay, the new other Air India. So 400 families.
Old Air India colony, New Air India colony, then Indian Airlines staff colony, Indian Airlines officers colony.
Okay. So 141 buildings around, and now what is the plan? Because this seems to be a contempt of the court. This is a contempt of court. Are you all moving the Supreme Court, telling the court that look what is happening?
Sir, we are urging you that you should fight for us, because we are not against the law. We are following totally law. Then we should have justice, and for that we need your help.
Exactly.
Right. So
We have already filed a case in Bombay High Court regarding this demolition,
Yes.
and tomorrow we got a
Yes.
hearing, and we got a protection from the Bombay High Court also. In that same, they have got an affidavit from Nial and Adani that they will not do any such kind of thing, repeat such kind of thing again till the hearing is completed. Because we have applied for session court also. In session court, it was turned down. Then finding no other option, we had to approach High Court.
and the hearing is tomorrow in the High Court, but you have
In
interim,
High Court,
but you have
Yeah,
interim
tomorrow.
protection.
yeah,
So which means they can't come tonight and demolish.
yeah, correct.
All right. So and in any event, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, till the pendency of the case in the Supreme Court, they can't demolish anyway. I mean, I don't think so.
They can't do anyway. But despite that, they are doing it. I don't know.
Yes.
Police is giving them protection. We don't know how come and all like that.
I hope whosoever your lawyer is in the Supreme Court will argue well. Who is
We are very-
who is the arguing counsel in the High Court, sir?
Mr. Sanjay Singhvi.
Mr. Sanjay Singhvi.
Yes.
Okay, I hope he does a good job, and I hope he gets justice for you. So I'll ask you both one by one. Mr. McKellen, you go first. What do you expect from the court?
So, what we expect is, basically if you see, now for example, you take my case itself, there are plenty of cases like me. We have came here leaving good private job, few of us has came leaving government job also, assuming that this is also a government company. No one of us thought that this will suddenly become private. That is the differential. Then house, at this juncture, buying a house nearby this locality for 2 crore is not possible from our side. And we have assumed that till my retirement, I will be staying here only. My kids are there. My daughter sees in 9th standard. Now in this juncture, I cannot move out of the city also. So it's very dilemma. So what we want is, we want to have an accommodation till our retirement. What it was there when we get appointed. As per our service condition, we are supposed to get our house till our retirement. We want our house in retirement. We are not saying that we want to occupy all the 4 colonies. You can adjust us in any one of the colony or half of the colony or somewhere else you can accommodate us. But what we want is, we want a house till our retirement. That's all we want. That is what we are expecting from Supreme Court also, that they will super leniency towards us. Now we came from so far away places, all the people in India who are working, AESL, different companies, subsidiaries, all belongs to all over the India. And what we want is, nobody can afford a house now.
They were very good times, Mr. McKellen. They were very, very good times for Air India and for Indian Airlines both. They were very good times. But the only thing over here, before I come to you, I'll come to you, Mr. Suryavanshi, 1 second. Let me just finish with Mr. McKellen first. Mr. McKellen, the Bombay High Court, in the 3 petitions that you had filed before the Bombay High Court, and the Bombay High Court dismissed all of them. The Bombay High Court said, accommodation is not part of your service benefits. That's what they said.
Yeah.
So you are challenging that in the Supreme Court, right?
Correct. We are challenging the dispute.
Right. So, अब आप बताइए, Suryavanshi साहब, could you please tell us, what do you expect from the court? What do you expect from the court? What do you expect the court to do?
In Bombay High Court, we were fighting it for, that is our service condition, and we are fighting for that only. And it is not said by Bombay High Court that it is not our service condition. Adversely, court said to Labour Ministry that it should be considered as a dispute between unions and company, and it should be decided by CGIT whether it is service condition of them or not. That the order give by High Court of Bombay. Firstly, and again they refused to comment on that, and they said no, we have decided that it is not their service condition. Again we approached High Court, and again High Court said that you may consider it again to say that whether it is service condition or not. Both times Government of India refused our dispute to CGIT, and we are asking Supreme Court to intervene and let us see whether it is our service condition or not. It may be decided by CGIT. That's our basic pay in the Supreme Court, and we are fighting for that only. And we are not here for being a owner of colony or staff quarters or all the things. We are here to see and say that we want this accommodation till only our retirement. We are not asking anything other than this. And this is our agreement with our company, which have provided us quarters, that you are able to live here in these quarters up to my retirement. That's what I am asking, which has been agreement with our company. That's it. We want this only, nothing else, sir.
Mr. McKinnon, have you got, they provided any other accommodation, quarters, anywhere else around Mumbai? Has Air India provided you any other accommodation?
No, not yet.
Not in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai or something like that? There were talk that...
No, there's no talk like that.
There is no accommodation at all?
No.
So what do they expect you to do after they demolish the houses you are living in? To go on the street, to set up a tent, sit on the runway? What are you supposed to do?
That's what we want to know. Whether they also want us to, illegal occupant or jhuggi jhopari wala, sit down in a bridge near below a bridge, make a tent and stay there with the family, because we have got nowhere to go.
So, sir, just to clarify, because we've just received a question. Are you still working for Air India?
I am working with AIES. It's a subsidiary company.
Okay. And that now belongs to Mr. Adani, or it belongs to Mr. Tata?
No, it belongs to Government of India, Ministry of Civil Aviation.
It belongs to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. So you are a Ministry of Civil Aviation employee?
Yes.
So being a Ministry of Civil Aviation employee, you are a government servant?
Correct.
So how can a deal between a private company and the Airport Authority of India and the state government apply to you? Your service conditions remain the same.
Correct.
I'm just trying to figure out.
This now even we also don't know. So now you see, sir, when the case is going on, now even parallelly we are facing an eviction procedure also.
Yes.
From Mial, Adani and Airport Authority.
That is, Mial is the Mumbai International Airport Limited, which used to belong to GVK and which is now with the Adani Group.
The Adani Group.
And now the Adani Group itself, and from Air India. Okay.
Yeah. So that eviction procedure has started from the month of July 2023. Now on November 2023, Government of India is giving in one of the affidavit which they submitted in Supreme Court, stating that this land and property belongs to Air India Asset Holding Limited. But whereas the eviction procedure from Adani Group has started in the July 2023 itself. Now we don't understand that when you have started an eviction procedure in July 2023, how come Government of India is giving one of the affidavit in Supreme Court in November 2023 stating that this property belongs to Air India Asset Holding Limited. Now who is what they are telling? It's all very big masala going on.
So Air India, the Air India that has started proceedings against you is the Air India Asset Holding Company that has started proceedings.
No. The eviction procedure is started by Adani now from July 2023.
No, but you said three people have started to think against you. One is the Adani Group, one is MIAL, which belongs to Adani, and the third you said is Air India. Which Air India?
Not Air India, Airport Authority.
Airport Authority of India. Okay, AIAI.
No, but they all same. They all same. They're all the same parent company.
That's right. But this
Adani,
is rather sad.
MIL, and airport authorities.
Actually, very frankly speaking, Pradeep
They are all the same. They are the same agency. Now,
Pradeep
the
ji,
point
I'd like to ask him a question. Just
Yes,
one
yes.
second. Both Mr. McKellen and Mr. Suryavanshi. You know, when we heard that Mr. Ratan Tata is taking over Air India, we were so happy. We thought he would really look after all the employees of Air India, the way all Tata employees are looked after. Did you feel the same thing, Mr. McKellen?
Very much. Even we were having so much speculation. A lot of my colleagues who went to Air India now, we thought, because up to now, what we know, even Tata Steel, you go for any of the Tata companies, they have been very good with their employee.
Yes.
Right from accommodation, welfare, means welfare-based company it is, and everybody was expecting that Tata, when taken, your welfare will be taken care of.
That's what we
They
expect.
may not be a very good paymaster, but welfare-wise, they are the best in India.
That's right, they are. So what happened? When you learnt that you are not under the Tatas, what happened at that time?
you were given a 1 year's notice, correct? Immediately when Tata took over Air India, you were given 1 year's time to vacate the premises. And
Yeah, correct.
that was coercive. Now the point is, now we are worried about the coercive steps that they are taking. Now I have been told that many salaries are being kept on the hold. They are being giving you penalty, penalty deduction from your salaries. Now this is totally against the very norms
service
of
rules.
natural justice when the matter is already in the Supreme Court. Now how much truth in that, Mr. Suryavanshi, that penal deductions are going on by huge amounts are being deducted from your salaries? Is it true?
Firstly, they deducted some amount from our salaries, but later on they redeposited in our accounts.
So now there's no coercive payments, deductions and all those kind of things.
No, it is earlier when there was a merger of Air India and Indian Airlines, because of the pay structure difference and all like that, they have deducted our 25% of our salary, which later on, as soon as the disinvestment procedure was going on and it was about to finalize, and after the finalization, they paid that 25% salary cut deduction to all those who are not staying in the colony. They have held back that amount, and still we are not paid for that amount.
So all the people who are staying in the Air India colonies, they have been penalized to the tune of 25%. Is that it?
Yes, correct. Yes, correct.
All right, everybody else has got it who is not staying in the Air India colony. So
Yes.
what happens now? Because the Supreme Court will take its time. I hope you win. I hope you get a favourable order in the Bombay High Court. But Mr. Suryavanshi, you didn't answer the question with regard to the Tatas. When you learn
But
that the
actually-
Tatas are not going to be your employers,
Sir,
what happened?
actually, in 2011 itself, we were the part of Air India. Later on, we were transferred to AI Engineering Services Limited, which
Okay.
was not sold to Tatas.
Right.
And we are still the Government of India company or government PSC.
So rightfully speaking, the government should be protecting you.
Yeah, we are asking the same. Government should protect us.
Because
And
both the gentlemen sitting in front of us are government
when we
employees.
were transferred from Tata to from Air India to AI Engineering Services Limited, we were assured that all service conditions, my perks and pays will be protected. Now where is that protection? I am going to ask.
I mean, there's nothing. I think they have been divided, various parts, various subsidiaries have been created. Adani has been given the land. Now, what's interesting is, in case, what is the plan in this huge area that, around this 184 acres of land? Is it, what is Adani's plan? Is it the extension of the hangars, the, maintenance, or Adani is making a mall, Adani is making constructive commercial buildings? Do you have any idea?
It may be commercial buildings or the Aerocity like in Delhi.
Aero City.
Okay.
Right. But in terms of expansion of the airport, he says that he needs it for the expansion of the airport. Mr.
It is not
McKellen?
known, sir. Official
See,
is non.
Nothing is
Yeah.
Nothing is known. But as far as Mr. Adani is concerned, let's be very clear. Pradeep ji over here, Adani was told that this is not your problem. We will solve the problem for you when he was given the land. So as far as he's concerned, he says, and this is what Mr. Adani says. Mr. Adani says that I am well within my rights because I bought the land, or I bought the lease on the land. Actually, the land doesn't belong to him. So he's a lessee. He says he got the lease on the land. So why shouldn't I be able to use that land? Now it's up to the government to decide what to do here. They have to provide Air India employees with alternative accommodation in the same area, or work out a deal with Adani and say, hey, listen, it will take another 10 years or 15 years before the people are allowed to vacate, or something to that effect. Do you think that's likely to happen, Mr. McKellen?
Yeah, we do expect the same way. See, now what we practically, if you see, even illegal slum dwellers, when you are rehabilitating that slum dwellers, you are giving them certain houses. So even they are illegal. Although they are illegally staying in slums, they are provided accommodation. We are staying legally. Why can't we be provided? And still it is disputed that whether it is service condition, non-service condition, whatever it may be. But what we know as a layman, see, these are all legal terms and all like that. We don't know this much of legality. What we know is trusting, hoping the government of India, that this company belongs to government of India. We came here, we started a family, we have got kids. Now we will be on the street if we are thrown out of the house.
What happens to the school there? There is a school out there.
Yes.
Is the school also going to be demolished? What is the plan for the school?
Yeah, there are two schools are there. They have to demolish. If they are demolishing the colony, they have to demolish the school also.
Oh God. So a lot of people all across Kalina are going to have to look for new schools for their children. Oh God.
I hope you get a favorable order tomorrow. I hope you are given some more protection tomorrow, till such time as the government decides. I hope they decide something which is absolutely in the favor of the number of families living over there. There are over 400 or 500 families living there. और 500 परिवार या 400 परिवार जो वहाँ पर रह रहे हैं, उनके लिए कुछ तो विकल्प सोचना पड़ेगा. As Mr. McKellen said right at the beginning of this discussion, that they don't mind being shifted to just one cluster of buildings, and the rest Mr. Adani can do whatever he wants with it. So perhaps something like that could happen. I don't know whether or not you would be agreeable to that kind of a situation, or maybe something else in the same area. We don't know. Yeah. But let's see what happens in the Bombay High Court tomorrow. All the very, very best to you. All the very best to you. I hope all of you get a favorable order. Mr. Suryavanshi, Mr. McKellen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, that's a real pickle, Pradeepji. Because I don't really blame Adani. Do you blame Adani? I don't really blame Adani because he's a businessman.
No, forget it. I mean, housing is the basic things that you give for your employees. It's a giant organization. Air India is a giant organization.
Yeah, that's not his organization.
No, it's not his organization. This is a part of your perks that you give your employees. You have a colony, and your colony that has been for nearly 50 to 60 years out there in existence. And one day you say, I'm going to demolish and put the workers out. Now, I was under the impression that they will create a new township, a colony for
rightfully speaking, what the Air India companies which are owned by the government, I'm talking about the people who are here, what they should have done is they should have created a special purpose vehicle, had a deal with Mr. Adani, and they would have said, okay fine, this particular area is the one where these people are going to stay, and they'll stay for the next 15 years till all of them retire, and in the meantime you develop this area. It can be very easy. The solution actually is very, very easy. They don't require the entire land. They require maybe 10 or 15% of the land. You don't require anything else over there. After all, they are just 500 families. I mean, come on.
The point is, Adani, the entire slums, right from Andheri, right from Ville Parle, Santa Cruz, Kurla, Sakinaka. Now this whole property is the airport area which belongs to Adani. Now the point is, among this, you got only this 184 buildings that 184 acres that you're talking about, and which had a colony, a proper colony, you can say a proper construction, regularized construction, which houses your employees. Now I'm worried about the future of the entire, holistic arrangements you have for the employees. Now are you going to say that no institution going to have colonies for your employees? You're not going to have these kind of benefit for your employees.
That's what they say.
You have destroyed the entire, system and sanctity that you built of creating an employee-employer relationship. So everything is gone.
So
Nothing
it's
of
gone.
that remains anymore.
Pradeep ji, it's gone.
It's
Let's
gone.
be very clear, it's gone. It's really gone. So I don't know where
So
we are heading.
that's what is hurting. That is what is hurting.
I don't really know where we are heading, because rightfully speaking, all these people who have been living over there and who had been provided accommodation, and they, by the way, joined Air India and Indian Airlines because they said that they would be given a house. That's the, you know, the biggest advantage. हम मुंबई आ रहे हैं और मुंबई के अंदर हमें घर मिल रहा है. मुंबई के अंदर घर मिलना साहब कितना मुश्किल है, सारी दुनिया को मालूम है. जब ये लोग अपनी अलग अलग जगह से छोड़ करके आए एयर इंडिया में, इंडियन एयरलाइंस में, इन सबको मालूम था कि सर्विस में इनको ये बेनिफिट मिल रहा है कि साहब हमें घर मिल रहा है, इसलिए छोड़ के आ रहे हैं. सैलरी कम ली लोगों ने, प्रदीप जी, दे टुक लोअर सैलरीज बट दे स्टेड ऑन in Air India. They are the loyal employees of Air India who did not leave for private concerns. And that's the reward of loyalty.
Now, I'm worried about the future of the entire our working ecosystem. Are we going to, what are we looking at? The government, I mean, the employer has no responsibility of providing even the basic things that was earlier offered to them. No,
So-
they are bereft of any of these responsibilities.
So you will get only you will only get that kind of quality of employees. That's what is going to happen. People whom you really want, who have hell of a lot more to offer to your firm, will probably go somewhere else where these facilities are offered. Which is the reason why you have a huge brain drain in India. People are going abroad. You look at the Google complex, one of the reasons why people love working for Google is because both the chaps, both the founders of Google decided they would look after their employees come what may. Which is the reason why they are still there, which is why Google is Google. That's it. Now, maybe we could have learned something from there. We didn't. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they said, anybody who works for Google shouldn't have to worry about a house, should not have to worry about where his next meal comes from, And look at Google today, and look at all the other major firms. Look at Apple. Once you join Apple, once you join a company like Apple, you don't have to bother about a house. You don't have to bother about where your kids are going to go to school. You don't have to bother about your lunch or your dinner.
That is what earlier Air India was. I mean,
Yes.
people would love to work for Air India.
That's right.
You had a colony,
That made
you
it,
had traveling, you had
Pradeep ji,
this.
that made it one of the top
Yes.
3 airlines in the world.
Bilkul, sir.
At one time, I remember when every airline was running at a loss, Air India was the only airline in the world which was making a profit.
And it was internationally competitive.
Yes, that's right. It was internationally competitive. Not only was it competitive, it was the most profitable airline in the world at that time. Till you came along, what did you do? You first merged Indian Airlines with Air India, then you demerged, then you did all sorts of other things. You had ministers coming over here, you had bureaucrats coming over here who looted Air India. This happened. It really happened. And one day, perhaps Pradeep ji will come out with the real truth about Air India. He knows all the inside out of Air India, and we must come out with it.
But there's an entire report in the parliament. And
Yes, there is, and nobody's looked at it. Nobody's looked at it. No one has looked at it. It's a scam worth over 3 lakh crores, by the way. I can give you that figure. And that figure is about 8 years old, 9 years old. 3 lakh crores is what we're looking at. Today, it would be what? Almost 8 lakh crores? Or thereabouts? Well, I hope they get a good order tomorrow. I hope people don't have to lose their houses, because
They have to work and they have to fight too.
because there's nothing worse than losing a house. Right, that's just about it for tonight's show. आज के शो में सिर्फ इतना ही. आप सब लोगों को प्रदीप जी और मेरी तरफ से नमस्कार. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र, जय भवानी, जय शिवाजी, वंदे मातरम. और इसके पहले कि आपसे विदा लें, एक बार फिर अपने कमेंट जरूर भेजें. आज कोई कमेंट्स नहीं ले रहे क्योंकि शो जरा लंबा चला है. वील टेक देम टुमारो. देयर आर लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ कमेंट्स लेफ्ट. आप जरूर अपने कमेंट भेजते रहें. सब्सक्राइब करें चैनल को. ये चैनल आपका चैनल है, और जो भी हम सवाल पूछते हैं इस चैनल पर उसका जवाब जरूर भेजें. Today, by the way, was a great day. We had Mr. Lakshman Saji from Ayodhya, and we had Mr. Sanjay Thakur from here, and it was very nice. And we loved hearing Pradeep ji's bhajan. I hope he makes a habit of that, and I hope we hear something from him every day.
To come out when he sang. Just
Really,
spontaneous.
really and truly wonderful. That's it. That's all we got for you in tonight's show. आप सबको हर हर महादेव और जय सिया राम.